baby.
So how many podcasts have y'all done?
I don't know. I don't think we've done any.
I think this is the third.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you said y'all been on radio,
But yeah,
a couple of times and stuff.
So we get interviewed like a good bit.
No big deal. You know, we're like kind of famous, kind of a big deal.
It fucking sucks because like they always want to come to the shop and talk to us, and like our days are just so shitty, like just constantly going, and all they want to do is just like frame up shots and like have like 4 hours to be there.
You sound so
right in the
rude
middle of
about
like a
it.
busy work. Like right in the middle of like a busy work day,
Yeah,
I guess.
and it's always like when we have stuff to do.
Sure.
Like not like a Tuesday when we don't have anything to do. It's when we have like thousands of posters that need to go out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So what's y'all schedule looking like these days, or like on a typical week?
Man, there is no typical week.
There is
like,
no typical week.
Like every day is completely different.
Generally, we have a lot more to do than we can do. So
Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you. We got Brandon and Brett from Yellowhammer Creative here hanging out with us. You guys obviously are very busy, so thank you for taking the time to come and chat with us.
Thank y'all for having us.
I'm super interested. I see your stuff everywhere, like literally everywhere. Like no matter what brand or local business I follow or anything, or just other friends of mine, like I just see all kinds of stuff that you guys have designed and printed, and just I kind of want to get an understanding of what is Yellowhammer Creative and how did you guys get started, and how do you have your fingers in so many different facets of like local businesses and universities and
Yeah. So
just everything, man.
The
It's
short
crazy.
answer to that is we don't say no to anything. So we've been doing it for about 13 years now.
Cool.
We started out in Brett's basement in 2008. Like we know some friends that are in bands, so just kind of reaching out to them if they want to do show posters, we're able to do it.
Now, are y'all screen printing the posters?
We are.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So I'm Lebanese, so my whole family is hoarders.
Okay.
So I mentioned to my cousin that we were screen printing posters or thinking about it, and he was like, you know, I own this bingo lounge in West Homewood. I think I have a screen printing press in the back. So we went over there and I was like, that's a pretty legit screen printing press. We had to move it around a tanning bed and like some
In the back of this bingo lounge.
yeah, man, it was nuts.
Okay.
And so we used that press until
very recently.
a year ago. Yeah.
How do you learn how to use a press that's just randomly hanging out at a bingo lounge?
So it's just like a clamp essentially. So it's not like a series.
Yeah, it's not like an automatic press like you see. Like it's a hand
Right.
press.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So-
still, those things aren't like, to me, they're not like super intuitive, or using the ink or like burning the images or all the things that go into it, man.
So we didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
Like when we started.
But you're like full
So-
steam ahead. We're not just gonna like do some hand drawing.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna learn how to screen press.
We're gonna do it on the spot
Okay.
with jobs like around the bend. Like already have jobs lined up.
Already telling people,
We're
yes, I
gonna
can do
figure it out.
Yeah.
So I'd worked at a screen printing press or a screen printing company for a little while, just as a graphic designer.
Okay, so you had a little bit of knowledge
A little
about like
bit.
how it works and stuff. You're not
Yeah.
just going in super.
Yeah,
super
right. And
green.
I had I lived in Atlanta for a little while and had some friends that did some screen printing, but I wasn't involved in the whole process of it. I was involved with the screen printing part of it. So I didn't really realize how much went into it. And then we did it 3 nights a week for 6 years. And then
It was I think it was like 2 years.
anyway, it was, yeah.
But yeah. It felt like 6
Yeah.
years.
But it was like just kind of trial and error, figuring things out, how to have a working screen printing company inside of a basement. YouTube helped us out a lot. I remember
Yeah, like it's so weird now, to think like in like '09 and like it's like around that time, like you didn't have so many of these kinds of things, or a YouTube was pretty early, honestly, as far as like you can find everything on YouTube now.
we didn't even think
So-
to look into YouTube.
We learned how to screen print off of YouTube from some like old guy. It was like,
There wasn't the plethora
you would
of
think you would do
information.
this, don't do that. And we were like, well,
Yeah.
that's
So
exactly what we did.
he
'Cause
laid
we were
out-
like, oh
Yeah,
this
he-
is how you do it. And
He laid out everything
Totally
that we
not right.
did. He was like, if you're doing this, and we're like, He's like, then you're doing this. We're like, that's what we're doing. And then you're
Wrong.
doing this. He's like, everything about that is wrong. That's why everything's messed up. It's like, okay. So then
And then like Instagram like showed up, and we were able to sell shit off of Instagram at like art shows and things. It all just kind of like happened. So like it's really kind of
And what year was this?
weird. I mean, all of that was multiple years. I don't know.
so we first started
the first
in
like 3 years. Was pretty much that.
2008.
2008. Okay.
Yeah. We really got going in 2009. 2008 was just kind of a trial and error year, figuring things out, doing like real small jobs for bands and friends. So 2009 is when we got going really, really hard, where it's like we're going to put this on a schedule. We were both working multiple jobs during the day and doing screen printing and developing Yellowhammer Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Are you only doing posters at this time, or are you doing T-shirts and
We were
and
mainly
apparel
doing
and
show
stuff too?
posters the
Yeah.
first few years. So we always were sort of like anti like screen printing shirts, just because everybody had a shirt idea and was like, "You guys screen print? Oh, can you do T-shirts?" Mm-hmm. And it's not like what we really wanted to do, but it's what we ended up kind of like having to do a lot of the time, since we like had a hard time saying no to somebody. So if somebody was like, I've got a job, we were like, well, then I guess we have to do it.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of inevitable. Like you can't like make a living off of screen printing posters unless you're at a higher level and you get like really big clients. Like you can't sustain anything off of poster printing.
That's the thing. Everybody wants a T-shirt, man.
Yeah,
Everybody wants a T-shirt.
Everybody wants a T-shirt, and everybody has a T-shirt idea.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has a T-shirt
Yeah.
idea.
So is
Yes, they do.
the screen printing posters, is that a different process than screen printing T-shirts, other than the ink that you're using?
It's the same process, except a T-shirt has to be heat set,
Right.
unless if you don't, it's gonna wash out.
Right.
Poster, if you have a good enough quality like piece of paper or substrate, it'll
Right.
soak in.
It's like a water-based ink.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a whole like water-based system that we've been working with for like 6 or 7 years now.
Dude, water-based inks are scary if you do it wrong.
I enjoy them so much because all of the other like plastisol inks, there's just so many harsh chemicals that you have to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to be putting on gloves every now and then, like when I have to clean a screen out. So
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
and it was better for us because we were doing it in, we didn't have a filtration system, and you could put it down the sink or
Just
the
down the
drain.
regular.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
You can't do that with other ink.
No.
No,
okay.
no.
No,
You
because
got
that,
water.
Yeah.
that plastisol doesn't
it's
dry,
horrible, man. It's
Like
so-
it never dries unless
so
the heat's
terrible.
set.
Yeah.
yeah, we've only used it like for a few jobs throughout like 12 years now. It's just gross.
Like in a
gross
pinch.
stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he has more
Yeah,
of a screen.
like early on, it was like, no, we have to use this. This is what everybody uses, and then it just like was not for us. And we had used the shit you just get like at the like art store for like
Yeah,
eight years at that point. So
Like I
we were like,
I was going to Forstall on the way to his house
already
to
using
pick up ink
water-based.
for the jobs we were doing the night before.
So you guys are doing the designing and then doing the printing and stuff, and kind of
Yes.
exploring your creative outlet through designing these posters for
Yeah.
what sounds like mostly bands, I guess.
Yeah.
and then like other, I guess, pop-up events and
So
stuff
yeah,
like
it
that.
went from bands to events to like corporate gifts to like VIP posters, just kind of anything that we could put on paper. Like we just kind of jumped at.
When did you guys really start to take off, I guess?
So it happened in late 2013. So Rev Birmingham had a series of pop-up shops in downtown and Woodlawn that we were involved in. So we were just like, let's give it a try, see what's going on. And then that week at the first pop-up shop downtown at the Burger Phillips, we just killed it. Like we sold out of everything.
Now, what are y'all doing prints of and selling?
Prints of just like Railroad Park,
Cool stuff, man.
Birmingham centric stuff, all the
Stuff
show,
around like city based.
all the show
So we
posters
had,
that
like
we've
extra
had.
show posters,
Yeah.
shirts that we had made.
That was around the time that we started That's Nice to Have You Birmingham shirts. So
Okay.
those were taking off. So then we did the one in Woodlawn where we hosted, kind of had our own building, and was able to have like parties and events every night. And that's when it kind of came like we can do this as a living.
Now, when you say Woodlawn, that was a space that you guys were renting, or just
No,
like
it was
a space that you were just using.
It was a
lot?
part of this Rev Birmingham initiative
okay, cool.
where they were doing pop-up shops throughout the city for the month of October.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys were just there a lot.
we were
doing
we
stuff.
were doing we did the one downtown, and then we did the one in Woodlawn. Because I mean we weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean we were working other jobs. But as far as like, as I'm sure y'all know, like there's nothing that's going on in Birmingham during football season because you can't do anything. So no events were happening. So we had a bunch of product that we were just sitting on. So at the time we weren't selling online. So we just had a bunch of stuff, and we're like, we'll take these crates down there and see what's going on.
And it's just the two of you guys. You are just
It was
designing cool stuff, and like, man, we should print this, or oh, this would be cool.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do this.
It was the two of us. We had a friend of mine that was working with us for a little while, and he kind of, he didn't have a day job, so he was able to sit in the store and kind of like check people out and stuff like that.
So at what point did you guys branch off of the Rev thing and say, hey man, let's do our own store or our own storefront?
That immediately after that.
Immediately after that.
Immediately after
so a
that.
month of that during the month of October.
Yeah.
And y'all were like, we got
We
this.
got something going on
Yeah.
here.
Brett went in first, and I was still at my job. I worked at my job until January, and I was just itching to get out. I was like, man, like he's doing so many cool things like without me. But eventually I got in January. But yeah, it was like the culmination of that whole month where we're like, this has some legs underneath it. Like we're able to do this full time.
Yeah, and we had just moved out of my house at that point too, and we're in like a incubator, a sort of a situation for about 8 months, and that was like the front end of that 8 months, I think.
Yeah. That was through Make Beham.
Okay, I was about to ask.
Yeah.
So I know they have one. They're just located right over in Avondale, right?
Yeah, so
okay.
this one was at the Continental Gin building in Avondale, where,
Also not far
where
away,
Doug
yeah.
Jones, like we were in where Doug Jones' headquarters
In his
was.
we're during his campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done some scandalous shit in Doug Jones's headquarters. Yeah.
You guys just jump right in, and at that point, what are you mostly selling? What's starting to take off that you're like, okay, this is cool. Obviously, that's around the time that it's nice to have you in Birmingham, and now that's like almost like an iconic logo that you see around the city.
I would say so, yeah.
But
So we've sold a lot of shirts, a lot of show posters. Has always been
but these are all
main
just your
things.
designs. At this point, are y'all doing
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
contract work, or are you having people come to you and say, hey,
We were always running things for somebody else. We did that first,
Yeah, but
and then
it
the
wasn't as, like it
retail
is
kind
now.
of came later. So the retail sort of it came out of small shows, here and there, of art shows, for our first few years, and then the rev shops happened, and that was like our first like shopping experience, and they were like interesting, I guess, and they worked, and then everything just kind of it all just kind of kept sort of falling in place for quite a while. It's just been a blur, honestly.
It's all been falling in place for like 13 years.
13 years. Yeah, that's usually how it is when you're caught up in the momentum and stuff.
Yeah, it's we're in it real hard. Like it just it just kind of happened. Yeah.
So let's fast forward. You guys start gaining some momentum. You were in the make location for a while, and then where was the first shop?
Our first shop was in Avondale behind Saturn. So we moved there after make. We moved our print shop there upstairs, and then downstairs was offices, and we had a about the size of this room retail shop.
Now, where is that? I'm not familiar with
kinda like-
building.
It's kind of right behind Saturn a little bit.
Okay.
I
I guess it's probably a building I've walked by 100 times
Yeah.
and never even noticed
Oh
it.
man, it
You
was really
probably-
shitty
you probably
looking.
parked
Yeah,
there.
so it was
Yeah.
like the ugliest shell over there, and we didn't change a lot on it,
Yeah.
and
I guess at that point,
yeah,
you
it
just
was
need a
not
place
a
to
good
work.
idea as far
Yeah.
as like, yeah, we should go to that place, because it did not look like you should go to that place at all.
Yeah. And a screen
but
printing
it
shop,
worked.
it's going to
Like,
get
people
dirty
still
anyway.
came in there.
Yeah.
Oddly enough,
Yeah, so I
it
guess
did not look like a place you should go.
right about that time was when we started the neighborhood series as far as like poster prints, where people were coming out on our Saturday sales for that, like lining up. So we gained a little momentum off of that.
Sure. Now, who were some of those early prints you guys were working with, or companies you were working with, or local businesses?
It was just us.
Just y'all.
Like as far as the neighborhood, like it was just drawings of like neighborhoods that
okay.
people
okay.
lived in. Yeah.
So it wasn't like you're partnering with other businesses. It's
No,
just like, hey, we're going to do a drawing of Woodlawn and print
right.
that.
No, it was just stuff that we wanted to do. We had custom clients that we worked with, but then we also focused on like our retail, and our retail was our main focus.
That's the most rewarding part too.
Yeah, it's great. Like I still get a kick out of like walking down the street and
Seeing
like,
your T-shirt,
seeing my
walk by.
T-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's always
because
a
this is
great
like an
feeling.
old friend. Like I don't really recognize it at first. I'm like, I know that shirt from somewhere, and then it's like, no, maybe
See some old prints you haven't done in a long time or something.
Yeah,
like,
or
oh,
like
man, yeah.
looking for houses and like people have our prints in their house. It's really weird.
That is cool. I know upstairs in our home we found some old, super ancient, 100-year-old photos of like downtown Birmingham and stuff, and Morris Avenue, and I just thought it was rad.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the underlying theme behind Yellowhammer has always been like Birmingham-based art. Like you're not just doing like rando stuff. It's always like like you said, like the different neighborhoods around Birmingham, or it's always like Birmingham's always an essential theme in a lot of the stuff that I saw.
Yeah, I mean,
Custom.
we're from Birmingham originally. We love it here. As far as kind of a business standpoint, we felt like that was our niche to be able to make this sustainable, where like there wasn't anything as far as civic pride going on in Birmingham. We felt like we could fill that void with good art and design.
Yeah.
And it's still, I mean, I still consider Birmingham our biggest client. As far as we keep on working to kind of forward it up and do as much as we can.
That's cool. Did you guys, once you had your own space, did you guys see a ramp up in people coming to you for requests for I guess partnerships, doing what am I trying to say? Contract work.
Contract work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at that point it wasn't that much, because after my friend that was helping us out through those pop-up shops left, I guess for like 6 months it was just me and Brett. Like I was doing all the printing upstairs and he was doing all the design and correspondence downstairs. I honestly don't really know, because it's all kind
don't
of a
remember
blur.
me neither.
Yeah, it was just kind of. It could have been 6 months. It could have been 2 years. I just know that we worked our butts off, and
And you're doing this with. Explain to me the press that you're using. You can use it to print on both paper and
at this point
shirts, or-
we had invested in a big like 6-station, 6-color press that we had bought off of somebody out in Chelsea.
Okay.
But that's what we were using for shirts. We were still using the old press for posters.
The old bingo press.
Right.
Okay.
Old bingo
Okay.
press.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess not knowing he's in the more than in the screen printing world than I am. The old bingo press.
Yeah.
Could you do shirts with that?
You could, and we did.
Yeah, we did for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's
it's-
just not suited for that, I guess.
Yeah,
or
it's-
as well.
So
It's
it
not for
was
it,
a shirt screen press. It was just really old and just not very good. Like, it was just up and down, and you didn't have.
No registration,
No.
micro registration.
That's-
I mean, it had side clamps, which
Yeah,
was great.
Yeah.
But
For those not in the screen printing world, having the registration means that you can get it like really dialed in.
Yes.
We're
Right.
not-
You can do more colors
Yeah.
way easier.
So
and
that's
it always lines up
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
you run
that's
it.
kind of how we came up with our style, was printing on, like, designing and printing on that press, because
How
It would be
creative
awful.
can
it had to be
Yeah.
off a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's just
yeah,
kind
so
of
that
how
is
it happens.
in like
Yeah.
everything we make is like, if it shifts, it's like it's gonna shift since it was always such a crude setup.
Yeah, we just
And,
learned how to design for it.
And one thing we liked, about like old show posters and a silk screening is that, it's not, like exact. Like
Right.
it's usually very much like a handmade, like item. And that just looks so much cooler than somebody who just, it just looks really good and they've just nailed it, and it's like, whoa,
It's like they designed the vector right on the fabric.
Right.
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
like you
Yeah,
could have
that
just
was
run it
never
off
our
a
style.
computer. Like it was obviously generated all on a computer and it looks like it just ran off of a computer.
Yeah.
Then, what's the fun in that?
No
It's not
character
really
in
that
that.
cool
Yeah,
to me.
It took me a little while to kind of embrace that and get into it, because I was wanting things how I designed them so perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we as hard as we tried, we couldn't get it. You can't get it on that type of press with that type of system.
You feel my struggle now? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
He got into screen printing, doing bands and stuff too, and I do understand.
I built a
We
press.
lived in. He built a
Oh,
press
right on.
from scratch, and the frustration that I saw.
I'd like to get more into this press. What kind of press was it?
It was a Home Depot press. So
Okay.
it was 2x4s, trampoline springs, what are they called? Peanut crackers
Uh-huh.
to hold the screens in, and just a piece of angle iron for the screen plate.
Okay.
And then the actual platen was a piece of MDF cut just big enough for a T-shirt to go on it.
We've cut so many platens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was using Speedball products from Michaels to print.
We
Yeah.
So
We've
same
done
thing.
that,
My first
Yeah, we
T-shirt
used
was
Speedball for years.
Yeah. I was
What
like,
you could get.
screen printing is cool. I could do it. And a local band was like, "Hey, we're playing a show. Anybody know who could do merch?" I was like, "I can do merch."
exactly.
I couldn't
That's
do merch.
exactly how it
So
starts.
if you kept
exactly
that,
how it
if
starts.
you
You're like,
kept
yeah,
that
I can figure
going-
that out.
If you kept that going
For
13
12
from
years
now,
or 13 years,
you'd
you'd
have
be
the same
right
thing
here.
that we're doing.
So it was
Yeah.
the coolest shirts I've ever done and the worst shirts I've ever done.
Yeah.
I went to Walmart and bought Hanes white T-shirts.
Honestly,
It was
man,
so bad.
keep it up for 12 years, and you can do what we're doing.
Oh, that's what I did. So a little about me. Me and my business partner, we own a production studio now.
Okay.
And now I have my own full-on print shop that we do. It's private, though. It's
Mm-hmm.
only for, like, artists and stuff that we work with. So mom and pop can't be like, "Oh, we need a family reunion shirt."
We need 12.
Yeah, we
family
generally-
reunion
We don't do
shirts.
any of that.
Yeah, I don't
But,
have room for that most of the time either.
I need 1,000 softball shirts, or
Right.
or whatever.
Well, usually it's like
hand-printed, no,
6,
sir.
you know, and you're just like, I can't.
Or usually
do
it's
6.
just one. Like somebody just wants a shirt.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like,
can
I
do
get
a
it.
shirt
It's
for
just
me?
we're, like, no, like we're small. We can't do it.
It's not cost effective to just do.
And
like
it's hard to
one
explain that to people.
And I don't
too.
want to
Yeah.
make your stupid shirt.
that too. Yeah. The stuff you don't tell people. Like,
Yeah.
this is really your design? Like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, they've got a cousin that was a graphics designer. Yeah. It's going to come
AKA
up.
Google, ripped from
Yeah.
still has the
It's
watermark
gonna come
on
up.
it.
Yeah. Can you get this watermark out?
Yeah.
Man, that's our life.
Yeah. So are y'all still running a manual press? Or any
Oh, yeah.
talks
Yeah.
of doing an
Every-
automatic
Oh,
press?
yeah,
anything
no,
like
it's
that?
all manual.
So there's a couple things that go along with an automatic shop that we don't want to deal with.
Okay.
Like one, you've got to constantly keep that thing running.
I've been there. I
Yeah.
worked in a shop with an automatic press.
Yeah.
Almost killed the guy I worked with because it was going automatic. He got wedged in between it when the line was going by.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Decapitate.
There's so much upkeep with that, and we've never wanted to be that type of shop.
no, and we've literally just kind of trained ourselves for so long. It's like we don't know how to use anything the right way. So like,
But the subtle
know,
nuances of
I
Right.
mean, we would break that thing, and then we'd be like, how do we like?
we just spent $150,000
what is
on
it?
this big press that why?
Yeah,
That makes
Sean's
sense.
running it.
yeah, like it's just not like our. It's not how we learned how to do it, and I guess we don't really want to change it, so we don't change it. And it's easier to like not screw up, I think, since we know how to do it. But generally, it's we just got to get it out of our door. So who's got time
And
to
we're-
learn how to use?
We're not very good at computers, and that's
a
just
robot.
one big computer. Like we know how to like design
and I
and work
hate
with computers.
printers, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
hate printers.
I hate them. Like
screen
they're
printer
like
who
my
hates
arch
printers.
nemesis. Like
No,
they
he's
never
talking
work
about like
they're
digital
supposed to.
printers.
Digital printers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like everyone is just garbage. Like it's got its own, little. No, I'm serious. You got to click that one screen a certain way, or it doesn't work. It's true on our, on ours at work. Everybody screws it up, and I'm like, you didn't click that screen. I know what you did.
Yeah. You didn't press.
It's all just small shit, like all day long, like that, and it's just like it could fall apart at any minute.
That's wild. So you say you're manually printing, manually doing the screen printing and stuff, and I know a little bit from obviously my brother doing it and like doing the manual, like running the ink, and I think one of the earliest, probably the biggest challenges he had was burning his screens and getting like a proper resolution without it like having too much washout. And I
And you're in
remember the
Alabama.
meltdowns that he
It's
had.
horrible for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
So humidity is not
for
a friend
years-
for screen printers.
it took
Yeah.
us years to figure that out. And, again, like, there was a website that just had all sorts of videos like there is now. Like RioNet, for example, has like
Shout
a
out
lot
Ryan.
of
Yeah.
really cheesy videos, but the guy tells you how to use that shit.
Yes.
And that's huge because like everything else is just some like old guy, that just knows how to do it.
Like glazing
we
over the
didn't have
process.
access to that.
It's like, well, how many feet do you have your light away from your screen?
Yes.
Like I need to know that.
Yes.
I don't need to know like
just getting
and
your
then after that
screen
you
to
burn
dry
It. Yeah.
was the most like serious like issue for us for years. To be like, why is it not working this time and it worked last time?
Yep.
And it was because our room wasn't just dry. Like it was, so our screens never dried. So it just screwed up our screens all the time. And yes, I have been there, like in a driveway. Like, how the hell are we going to pull this off?
Yeah.
Like,
We got 500 shirts to print.
We
Our
gotta-
screens-
And not
you
even
know, and
that,
it's not
we've
even
got-
working,
We've got
and it's
20
like,
shirts to print.
it's like June and it's so hot outside, and we're just like freaking out.
Yeah.
And then 4 years later, it's like, every time the seasons change, it seems like all of our screens just quit working. And then we've got to like relearn it for some stupid reason. And then we finally like invested in, like a good light. Because for years we used like a sawhorse and a sheet of glass that I would set up on a series of sawhorses with like halogen lights that were super hot and just fry it for like
Yeah.
like who knows how long
We didn't
for
know.
years.
There.
5 to 10 minutes.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't.
I was like, I don't know.
how that
Let's
works.
go hard the other way this time. It
yeah.
didn't work.
Yeah.
The screen just wasn't dry, and it was just like sheeting off. And it's just small things that like you're either gonna learn or you're just gonna quit. And for some reason, we did not quit. And sometimes I think maybe we should have. But I mean, yeah, man. Like it was, it was rough sometimes. It still is rough
stressful.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, we still don't have it. Like
I
I printed posters today, and
Yeah.
the registration was off, and I had to take a break and just like walk around. I was like, I either tear this room up the best I can, or I just take a break and walk around.
Oh man.
It's the most infuriating relationship that I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. Well, he would commit. He built his own light box, and I just remember.
Yeah, man, we had dreams of all the. Nah,
Yeah.
man, I know how we're gonna.
We got it.
This is how we're gonna
Yeah.
make it this time.
Yeah.
And just some really sad, like yeah, I've got it figured out. Like,
This time is it.
Yeah.
This is it. And it's
You
never
don't
it.
respect that process.
Yeah. There's there's still holes in my parents' bathroom from trying to wash out screens.
yeah. So like our first screen, like was at your like
My old
apartment, and we almost had a small fire. So like we should have quit.
It was
like,
one of those
right away, probably,
plexiglass frames from Walmart.
and it just
Like,
melted.
oh, we just put a halogen light onto that, and we were burning.
It's not going to be on there that
screen
long.
of
Didn't think anything about it.
Larry Langford,
Yeah.
and Larry Langford almost burnt my house or burnt my apartment down.
Are you doing a print of Larry Langford? Yeah. That was burnt your apartment down.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
That was a bummer, like having to tell people that you're trying to screen print Larry Langford, and then you burnt your apartment down.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Well, obviously you guys started to get it figured out, and I dig the handmade aesthetic that you guys have, where it doesn't look like it came out of some perfectly printed,
manufactured.
like
factory.
what you'd see at Target or something.
Yeah.
You know, like I dig and I didn't realize that was the story behind it. It's like you couldn't quite get the alignment up, and that's why everything seems to have that aesthetic to it.
The lack of being able to screen print properly shaped the way that we design, basically.
So how long?
We just used what we had, to get it out the door.
Yeah.
So you guys kept growing, obviously, and taking custom orders, and then selling your own stuff, and even being in that shop behind Saturn. It sounded like people would still pop in and be like, I guess, wanting to buy stuff. Like,
Yeah, we would have to have somebody up there all the time because they would just randomly pop in and like heard about us or saw us on
Somehow
Instagram, found us. Yeah.
so how long were you guys in that space?
We were there for 5 years.
5 years.
Up until about
Was that it?
3 years ago when we moved over to
It seems like it was
Glen
forever.
Iris. Yeah. Well, we were there for 5 years, and then we moved the retail shop to the Pizzitz when we got the Pizzitz job.
Oh yeah.
And then we were at Pizzitz for 2 years. We were at Pizzitz for 3 years. 2 years.
It's all running together.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
It,
Like it really is so
however
much a
long
blur
our
now.
contract was with them, we were there for that long.
So how did that come about? How did the Pizzitz thing
Yeah, that's
present
pretty
itself?
neat.
So they contacted us about branding the food hall, and so from there it went to branding the food hall to designing almost all of the stalls, and then having space for us to have a retail shop.
Designing all of the stalls.
That's big.
Yeah, so
Yeah, man, it got out of control pretty quick, honestly.
this goes
You can't
back.
say no.
This goes
Golly.
back to us not.
Do y'all do
saying anything.
architecture?
Yeah,
Sure.
yes, we
Why
do.
not?
Like,
Yeah, so for some reason we were like, we
Yeah.
can make all that stuff.
Well, we
you
got
know?
thrown in from
'Cause we
us
could,
just
it was just we
being
never done it
in the bottom of our shop, like designing, to being at architecture meetings and like reading blueprints and like telling construction workers where to go and like what to do.
Yeah,
like,
none
it
of
was,
those guys liked us.
They didn't like us at all. Yeah,
I don't blame them.
Yellowhammer Contracting at your
right.
service.
Oh man, we printed shirts.
Yeah.
We
It's
did
just like, who are
everything.
these
Yeah.
kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a lot of learning on the fly too. Trying to figure out how to do.
Now, specifically,
Stuff.
what were you doing?
We were making signage. We were
making
making
signs. We were
logos, menus.
yeah.
What?
Kind of all the
We
design
hung
stuff.
fake ceramic.
We hung
wall
tiles,
tile at like
yeah.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Man, it was really weird because it's like we had like a fob to like everywhere in that place, and it wasn't like open. So like they finally like had it all like okay, it's ready, to like open, and there's no signs or anything in there. It's like okay, so now it's our turn, and it was like like 3 days, and we were like
Yeah. And
just up there like all night, and it was just us, and it was really fun. Like,
yeah, it's a good time. Yeah.
because it was so empty and so just like
We just
why do we
put
have a
music
key to
on.
this place?
Right.
Like it was.
they gave us a key to this place.
So all these businesses, you had like I can't name them all, but there was a lot of different businesses. You had taco place, you had burger place, you had the poke bowl place, you had like all these different things. They're all coming to you for designs for their.
It was kind of set up like in a way like to.
Like, hey, we need a logo.
Yeah,
on top of
to
everything else you're
everyone
doing.
kind
Yeah.
of.
all at once.
So almost like everyone in there, like had the need for like everything. So it was sort of, like we can create everything, and we did it for a really good number. We should have asked for more.
We left a lot of money on the table for that.
Dude,
That's
that's
such
lot
a
of
huge.
work.
But it was also
Yeah.
like we hadn't done any of that, so it was like, yeah,
Good
sure.
learning experience.
I just want to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
and yeah, we learned a lot.
one night we were putting up ceramic tile on Ellie's Jerusalem grill, and we came back the next day and the tiles were on the floor, and like all the construction guys were laughing.
we're all laughing at
us. And
us.
it was like, oh, you need to put adhesive on the back of adhesive.
It's still on there
Tiles.
now, I
Yeah.
would say.
Oh yeah, no.
Well,
it's
it
gonna
should be. I
there.
haven't been there in a long
It's
time.
going to outlive all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we kind of did a lot of stuff in that place.
Had a huge footprint in that place. A lot of those businesses, when they did the whole revitalization of the Pizzits and opened up the food hall, were a lot of those businesses startups? Like, had they ever?
Yeah.
They were all
So a
startups.
lot of them were.
So we had.
So that's why they needed all the design.
Yeah, most
work.
of them were.
We
yeah.
kind of had a thing with Bayer Properties, excuse me, who was running the project. So Bayer came to us and was like, "We've got a bunch of people that we're bringing in that don't have a concept yet, or like or anything. Is there any way that y'all can set up a system to make this affordable for them?"
It's just
And
like
of course we were like,
like all in one. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we'll just lump it all together. That sounds great.
it was basically
And it was just a lot.
We developed a menu. It was like you can get this option, which is everything, or you can get a watered down option, which is just a logo or
Or
a
website or
website,
something,
or you can just get a logo. And everybody got the top one.
Yeah.
Where,
I
like,
need a logo.
we
I
need
need
a
a
logo.
website. I need
a
a menu.
design.
I need T-shirts.
We
I
were painting stripes.
need a mission statement.
Yeah, like we hand painted a bunch of stuff in that place. Like it was stupid. It was stupid stuff.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, how big had the Yellowhammer team grown at this point? Surely it's not just you two.
It was us, a screen
At that point,
two screen
Yeah, at that
printers.
I mean, it was roughly what we have now. I
was
mean,
like six-
a few more
six
people
people.
once
Okay.
the
Yeah,
store
okay.
opened.
Yeah.
So the team had expanded
Right.
by the time you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
went to the Pizzits. Okay.
Yeah, we were able to do that because we had such a solid team.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're able to do everything that we do because of our solid team.
How big is the team now? You said it's roughly the same size?
It's about
The
eight-
print shop
eight people.
is
8 people and some retail workers.
like 4.
Yeah. 9, 10.
So you have the two. So fast forward to today, to present. You said you're not in Pizzits anymore. I haven't been to Pizzits in a while. So
We're not.
you guys are at Pepper Place.
Oh,
Is that your only
Yeah.
location?
Yes.
Okay. But for a while, you had both the Pizzits and the Pepper Place.
We had it
For
for,
like 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like 3 months, like in the end of 2019, we had the second shop, and then it like overlapped, and then in March COVID hit, and it was just like another
but it was-
sort of a blur.
It was
since then.
good because we had 2 retail shops in 2 different locations for the holiday season. So that was
So that worked out.
pretty good for
Pretty
us.
was all
profitable
right, yeah.
months, I guess. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's like if you're going to like have a second one for 3 months, that's a good 3 months, I guess.
Sweet. So you guys are strictly just in Pepper Place now. Are you guys doing your printing there too? Is that all under one roof? Or
We've got a
two
production
separate
site
locations?
over in Glen Iris across from the entrance to George Ward Park.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got a warehouse over there where our offices are, our retail managers' offices
You don't have to keep
are.
that all clean. You can just like work and get the nitty gritty and stuff.
Well,
Not worry
we got to
about people
keep the
walking.
front clean.
Okay.
Yeah, the back's all right.
It's like a normal
It's
print
okay.
shop.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Okay.
It's much better these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, it's a big thing when we moved to that place was we finally had air conditioning. We
Oh my!
didn't have.
Are you
air conditioning.
serious?
Yeah.
And heat.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a
and heat.
huge one.
Yeah.
Since you're like, God, it's so hot, I can't wait till it's cold. And then it's so cold, you're like, oh my God, my feet.
turn on
I
the
can't
freaking
feel my
flash
feet.
dryer. Turn on the conveyor belt.
It didn't matter. Like it would.
I mean,
come up
Alabama's
between- yeah.
crazy as
Yeah.
far as all that goes. Like you have, it's insane.
How does that
Like,
affect
it
the
gets hot and
products?
cold? I mean,
Obviously, you eventually
not
got
always
the screen
great.
situation figured
Sometimes there were some issues as far as, the humidity is an issue every summer. It's like, no, it's not going to be a problem here. And then it is.
Yeah.
And then,
But it's such a gradual change that you're always kind of tweaking with the system throughout the year. So when it gets like really cold, you kind of know what you need to do.
Okay, so you move over to Pepper Place, and you said about this time. This is when when COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
How did that affect the business, and how did you guys roll with the punches? I know you guys did and correct me if I'm wrong, the local series.
Yeah.
And as far as my understanding, that was geared to like help other local businesses who were being impacted by COVID, and explain all that, and just like what COVID meant for you guys.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
I mean, like when COVID first started, like we were very naive about it. Like it's just affecting.
yeah, we were just going to close for like, a week or two. Everybody's
Flatten the
going to
curve,
hang
baby.
out,
Yeah.
see what's happening.
Yeah. I mean,
And then quickly it was like, oh shit, man, everybody's not coming back. Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? And everything just went away like overnight. Like all of our shows, like we had show posters lined up, and we're hitting show posters hard this year. It's gonna be awesome. And we had some good shit lined up. And then like wiped, and
in like 2 days, like
and like
2 days,
everything, and then nothing
went, yeah.
showed up. So it was like we didn't really know what to do. So I guess it was that classic. We came from it was all one long roll of like a blur of like what just happened. So in a lot of ways it was just like, well shit, man, like everyone else is just like, what's going on? And it was like, I live in that every day. So it's just like, what can we do? And it was screen print shirts.
Yeah. So we developed this local series.
Now, where did that idea come from?
Well, it came because a bunch of our friends were closing their restaurants, and we were just like, we can
raise money,
We can raise money
somehow.
for them, and we were still fully staffed at that point. We still had a couple of jobs coming in, but then literally within that week, like after I pitched that to him, like a week after that, like everything was shut down. We had to fire let go of all of our staff, like have that horrible conversation, like
Yeah,
let
that's
everybody
rough.
go.
That's rough.
And then me and him had to figure out like, is this it? Like, are we going to keep on going, or like, what are we going to do? So we developed the local series to where we designed, set up on our website, and then had a pre-order system for companies with a shirt. That's kind of the vein we live in. So like we're able to ship out shirts, print shirts, sell shirts. So it made the most sense for us to transition into that. So at the beginning of COVID, we were doing 10 shirts for 10 different businesses every week.
Every week, yeah.
So
for like 4 or 5 weeks,
and it was just me
it
and
was
him.
brutal.
So we were designing like 30 different shirts because we were giving people
Yeah, there
free
were tons
options.
of throwaways that
Yeah.
just never got used. Since you made everybody
then-
like 6 or 7.
Yeah, and then so once we got the final design for that, we would put it up on our website and sell it for a week, and then we would kind of get all those pre-orders and then order the product from that. So we, it's kind of a win-win. We didn't have to sit on any product. We'd have to charge anything for really anything.
Yeah, pre-orders are great.
Yeah.
I stand by 'em. Pre-orders
Oh
are
man, it's amazing.
incredible.
We've
Yeah, like it
shifted,
works
we've
so
shifted
well.
our whole model because of this. So it was, it was a hard time, but we also like some of my best designs came out of that. Like,
Man, it was like everything was so like
Yeah.
you didn't know what the hell was happening, so it was just like, I'm just gonna go do this right now because that's all like
Yeah,
it's out of our hands.
it was
What
a way
do-
to way to keep us
it was a
busy
mess.
at least.
So then we didn't go crazy, and it was like, well, we just gotta show up, screen print, ship shit,
Keep busy.
and just keep going because we had people lined up like so fast as well, as far as like we had to like shove through them like like every a week we had a new run of them because we had so many people lined up, like we just had to,
We had to keep going. I mean, it was a way for us to keep going too.
run
it
as
helped-
many as we could.
It helped out other
as much
people,
as
but that's
possible.
how we
Yeah.
sustained through
But it
that
sounds like
time.
the shirts were a hit. They were obviously
Yeah,
they
they're
were a success.
kind of
How did you
immediately-
choose the businesses that you started working with?
It,
I mean, a lot
it
of it was like,
just
you know,
every like whoever wanted to be a part of this.
Help
yeah, it
me.
was like early on,
Help
it
me.
was like
Yeah.
our, like our friends and our clients was kind of that first wave, like early on, and then quickly, like as soon as we launched one, like we had a pretty solid, sheet with a lot of like other names on it.
Yeah, I think
So it went.
we've done about 250 at this point.
Just in the local series.
The local
Yeah,
series,
just
yeah.
the local series like setup. Yeah.
So that local series kind of grew into like another system that we use. So, the pandemic kind of totally changed our business model. And also, because we live in that kind of, everybody was struggling, but that's how we run. Like we run kind of day to day.
Wide open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
man. Wide open all day long.
So, one thing about us too is, we've always kept it kind of fluid, so to where, there's no, like, we don't have a business model. Like, we just kind of go however we can. So that kind of helped us get through the pandemic, where we're very adaptable to where, it doesn't ruffle our whole feathers if we have to change up, because we change all the time.
Sounds like you're made for it.
All the time. So many ideas about like, I think, this is going to be awesome. Let's do this. It doesn't really,
Some of them
work
don't
out
work.
sometimes. And,
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
Now, were y'all shipping
is
online
crazy.
before COVID?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys, a lot of businesses hadn't even given online.
Yeah.
thought,
So,
and then when
I mean,
COVID,
so
they
we've
forced them,
always
but y'all were
been an
kinda already in it.
online sort of a
We're
company.
kind of set up
you know.
for what we're doing now, because we sell a lot online. So we have a shipping station in our shop, and we have all the supplies. So like all the elements were there. It was just how do we
we knew how
how
to
do we do this?
like kind of run all of it, at like, it's just like a cycle. And, it actually ran fairly smooth for quite a long time, considering like
Sounds
it was
like
a
it never gets
stressful
dull.
situation
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
for a lot of reasons.
it ran
but it was
really
so
smoothly
great
until we
and
started
rewarding.
getting work back,
Yeah.
and then it would get in the way of work.
Yeah, since
like
it was
our
it
regular
was
work.
just us and the like art side of things, and folks want something from you, and it's just like, yeah, I know that you got it. Just go make it for me. And then you're like, okay, what do they want? And you're like, I have no idea.
I need a little bit of direction.
yeah. Oh man, I trust you guys.
I was about to
That's
say.
the worst.
I love that you trust us.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. I need something.
Yeah.
So,
Or I'm just gonna be like just throwing out all kinds of crap I don't need to, and being like, yeah, maybe I should do that, and then trying that, and it's horrible. And
But
you're like, yeah, I should've
inevitably,
done
they already have in their mind what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just want us to
Figure it out.
to
that. What I
figure it
really
out.
thought
Yeah.
you guys were gonna do is this, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you could have just told me.
Yeah.
This.
so how
I
much
mean, I
of
would've
it?
showed you that, so many separate,
I can't even imagine just
Yeah,
keeping up with the
ways.
physical, the printing side of everything. Assuming the designs are done and you're just literally trying to get product out the door. That's a whole thing in itself. But you're also doing these designs, like you said. Are y'all both designing?
We are.
So both of you guys have a hand in the final designs, and you get businesses like you said that come to you that are just like, oh, I trust you guys, man. We need something new, something fresh. Here we go. Just give
Yeah.
us something. How do you balance all that, especially when it's just you two?
Man, you just gotta-
Seems like it'd be 24/7.
slowly squeeze it in when you can.
Yeah.
and
It's late at night.
Crazy,
It's,
and-
it's during in between print jobs. It's inspiration kind of hits whenever, so you got to hit it when it can.
a lot of late nights.
Yeah.
for those few months, like.
We have
we
have a couple of different ways. Like sometimes we'll make a list of what all we got, and then we'll just divide it and do it. Sometimes I'll design something and hand it over to him, and he'll finish it up. Sometimes it's vice versa. It's
Okay,
just-
cool.
It's literally it's kind of any way that we can get it out. If that means staying up till 3 to working on a show poster, then that's what you got to do.
What are some of if you had to pick some favorites of the designs that you guys have done and brands that you guys have worked with? I know there's some that have stuck around that you kind of see floating around. You got them printed on pint glasses. You got them printed on hand towels. You got them printed on shirts. You got them printed on all these different things. Some of the more anything that stands out, it's like, wow, I designed that. That's really been a hit. It's really cool. Kind of put you on the spot right there.
No,
Yeah, way to go, Alex.
I mean,
You know,
honestly,
it's just such a flash of
favorite
so
child?
many things.
Yeah.
Like when you sit down and just like kind of like sift through a drive that's a mess a little bit. I mean, it's
it's fucked up.
yeah. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's just so much work, and it's all like one huge, like it's all in there.
Yeah,
and
so we've done over
just crazy.
450 show posters. So I have flashes of like where we were like for each of those and like what we were doing. I don't know the time and space that we were doing them in. I know like printing them. I know designing them. I know dropping them off, but I don't know. I don't know what we were doing around that time. So I have favorite posters where like they were kind of landmark posters where. So I remember we did one for Wanda Jackson that Brett designed, and he used teal, purple, or teal, pink, and black. And at that time, I wasn't designing with like those types of colors or that color palette. So I was like, oh man, like, that's great. So that kind of changed me. So I have that as like a roadmap. But I mean, John Prine was a good one when we got him for the first time. We worked with Jason Isbell for a little while.
I saw that actually earlier today. It was like some poster for him.
Yeah, when you add it up, I think Jason was one of our like earliest clients.
One of our first clients
for like show posters, and it's like it was like right when he was getting like really, really huge.
Yeah.
And we made a few posters for the Shakes, like right when they exploded.
Yeah. Okay.
Saw all that like.
I think
like a front row seat, like it's just been crazy. I mean,
maybe
honestly.
our most sought after
it was
poster
a
is
screw
this
up.
Widespread Panic poster that we did in 2013.
It's like a white whale for all these guys that like
that collect those posters.
But even now, like, hey man, you got any of those Panic posters?
Yeah, so
no, man, I do not.
So we got contracted by the job or by the band to do posters for the band for when they were coming to Birmingham.
It was just like a VIP one-off thing, and
so we designed it and printed it,
the
and then when I got done printing it, I realized that I'd inverted the colors. Like I'd put the red where the blue was supposed to go. So I was like, man, I fucked up. So did them again.
Is there a picture of that anywhere? Pull
you probably found it online.
It's in
a mess.
Book. It's Widespread Panic. Just Yellowhammer Creative.
They made some like like every show poster from so and so and so and so, and it was on the last a sheet, and it was like out of like 17. So it was like a really, really low number.
And so then we printed
and we fucked it up like 3 times,
the right colorway, and it was looking great. And then we were looking at it and was like, oh, I misspelled amphitheater.
Oh no!
So we had to run it again. And then we were selling those for $10 at that show.
That Rev show.
Yeah.
And sold,
so you'd
like
already
20
printed
of
them, it's
them.
misspelled. We're going
We
with
was like, we'll get them done. At least get the cost back from the paper. And then we printed them regularly. And they looked great. And then we found out later on that people were selling them for like $500-$600 on eBay.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's crazy.
For the
Yeah,
misspelling?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
We'll find it
then
later.
like everyone was like, I got to have all 3 versions, So like, some folks have like all 3 of them.
Like those
And
people
that's
that are
just-
really into collecting posters, like they get
That's like a
they get
sought after.
crazy
Oh yeah,
about
man.
posters.
It's
I didn't
a
even
serious
think about
thing.
that. Like
Oh,
poster collection.
Everything's
We didn't either.
Like
We
that.
wouldn't have sold them
if
for
you go
$10.
deep enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, I gotta get that misprint of that widespread panic Behan
Yeah,
show.
and I mean, like I get it. It's just also like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's like, man, we sold this for $10, and you guys are selling them for how much?
Yeah.
It's like,
We've got a buddy that's
What?
holding on to like 3 of them. He's like, this is what I'm going to do if I have to get out.
My retirement,
Like
baby.
my retirement. Yeah.
That's crazy. We never know what's gonna take off or what the internet is gonna deem
Right.
like this is valuable.
Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But going back to your question, I think some of my favorite stuff that we've done is just like the stuff that we've done for friends, like helping them out, like small businesses, just like stuff like that.
Well, the local series is really cool. And I'm amazed by just the amount of design work that you guys have done. You're able to just create all that stuff, not let alone, actually get it printed and get the products and all the other things that go into running a successful shop. It's really cool. When did you guys start branching out into, it's like nowadays I can find your work pretty much everywhere. It seems like anytime a local business unveils a new shirt or something, it's usually done by you guys, or a coffee mug or a glass pint or something. It's just like I see so many things. When did you guys start branching out and just basically stamping your artwork on different products other than just like, I guess, T-shirts and posters?
Somebody comes to you and it's like, hey, can you put this on a mug?
Yeah,
yes, I can.
It's all with the client work. It's whatever the client wants.
Now, are y'all doing that though? Did y'all learn how to print mugs? Or y'all
No.
outsource
It's all like
that?
sublimation.
No,
and
so
stuff.
Yeah. We've got.
Guess you got to
we
draw
got
the
mug
lines
guys.
somewhere.
So we've tried all kinds of the ideas we shouldn't have. As far as like trying to screen print any other shapes or objects or things, we always knew like we're never gonna be able to pull that off, man. Like it's like our setup was really the same really up until like a year ago.
And that's only because we made enough money to buy a new press. Like it wasn't that we wanted to change.
How much of a game changer has the new press been?
So it was a good,
Pretty big.
huge
Yeah.
upgrade, really. It
Still a
wasn't really that
manual press.
expensive. It was
Still a
just,
manual, but it's got a vacuum. Vacuum.
we've been
It's a vacuum
doing it.
table. So instead of having to put your piece of paper down and secure it there with spray adhesive,
Right.
like it vacuums it.
What? Okay.
and it has
How does that
like
work?
a micro registration filing. That's I don't really know how to use it still, but it's there.
Right.
And yeah,
So this press
Yeah,
is
it runs a lot better.
specifically for like paper printing.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like a sign screen press essentially. So
Okay.
that's the other thing is we've always had to just learn on the fly as much as we can, and that new screen press, we learned a lot of new things about it as well that were like, damn, if we had that the whole time. Just like everything else we had ever done, it's like, well, it's working, so we're not going to change it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
We're too busy to change anything anyway.
Well, it's such a finicky process that
Yeah,
once
man,
we
you
kind of
can't
had it to
screw it
where
up.
we could make a living out of it. I didn't want to change anything because you change emulsions, that throws you back a week. It's kind of a it's a very
yeah, like you
finicky
don't-
process.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And you
Yeah,
don't
if it's working, you do not.
and you don't know it's
say,
not
like, ill
working
about it.
until
You
you're
just-
ready to get
yeah, you're already
get to
too
proceed.
deep.
Somebody
Yeah,
needs it
yeah,
right away,
yeah.
and for some reason it's not working, and then you're like, oh my god,
Yeah, not now,
not
not
this
now.
again.
yeah.
Generally, though, it's been pretty good for a few years now. So
Well, that's
we've
good.
finally figured out a lot of small things that I feel like nowadays, if you went to find it, you could find it in like 3 hours, which is great, but it's also
Infuriating.
sometimes a little like,
Yeah.
oh man, if only somebody had just said, yeah, you should do this, you should do that.
Yeah,
So,
knowledge. Is priceless.
yes, and we're always open if anyone ever has like any like, how do I do this? I want to learn how to screen print. How do I do that? Generally, I say you probably shouldn't. It's-
Find another hobby. Do
yeah,
something.
like it's not as easy as it sounds. It sounds like it's super easy, and honestly, it is. Once you know everything, and even then, like you're not really gonna know
Yeah.
everything. It's just knowing enough to sort of seem like you know enough.
Yeah, and we've been able to like help like smaller people out. Like
About to ask, do y'all offer like classes or anything? or?
we did offer classes at one point. It just got too much.
Well,
So,
and then COVID happened.
Yeah,
and-
Meg Beham offers classes, and our screen printer Sean, he runs those classes.
Okay.
But
So any screen printers out there listening, or,
Yeah.
or
Or-
future screen printers, you
honestly,
can learn how to.
if they
print.
just want to come to the shop, like we'll teach them how to screen print. Like we're all for forwarding the medium. Like
Yeah.
I've set up 2 home press like screen printing shops for people.
It's like kids wanting to get into like making their own band
they're just
shirts. Or
they're
just
band
doing their own
shirts. They
stuff.
can't afford it. Like we're cleaning, re-emulsing, and burning screens for a couple right now that just makes their own shirts out of their basement.
I've had guys ask me like, "Hey, can you just coat the screens for me and get
Yeah.
them back to me?" Like, "Oh yeah, that's
I'll
fine."
I'll do that all day.
Yeah.
You know,
It's easy right there.
yeah,
I'll
that
do
just
that.
means
Yeah,
more
man. Once
more
you know how
people
to do it,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's just you got to do it a certain way or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that people are as into it as we are. So anything that we can do to forward it, we'll do whatever.
That's awesome.
That's rad. Yeah.
It gets us in trouble sometimes because we don't have time to do any of that shit. But
Yeah,
I'll
and
do
it's
whatever.
like,
yeah.
it's like I can say everything I know to you. I also know it's not that easy to go do it. So, it's just kind of sure, I'll share everything I know. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Well, it's definitely a passion to be able to stick with something that could be so infuriating. And I know for him, like he has a lot of the similar stories. So, kind of moving forward, you guys obviously your online shop. I was kind of surfing through all the different products and stuff that you guys sell. A lot of your own designs, but it seems like you also partner with a lot of people beyond the local series that we talked about. And that was kind of a question I had because scrolling through, I mean, I see logos for different universities and logos for. I think you guys recently posted a design that had, Oak Mountain State Park on
Oh
it.
yeah, all the
Yeah.
Oak Mountain stuff.
And just how does that work, especially with something like, I see a shirt with like the old school Auburn logo or the
Right.
old school Alabama logo, or it says Roll Tide. Are you guys partnering with the universities?
just got to
Are
get
you
a license.
licensing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a license
Yeah, you can't just go
sort
print
of
that
process.
stuff.
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't think so, but how hard
No,
is that
it-
process to say?
I mean, it's we get a lot of folks ask us about that, and it's it's one of those. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. Like, it's probably not going to work. It's a chore. For us, it was worth it. Since
I would imagine that stuff sells, though. I mean, like,
Yeah,
It sells
Oh, yeah.
okay. So the thing with Alabama and Auburn is they're such established universities. Like everybody already has Auburn and Alabama stuff.
Like, do they have the old school? That was what was cool. Is like,
But
yeah, no.
So
So-
they don't care.
Well,
They don't. Some people don't care.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They'll just go to Walmart and buy whatever. What we have kind of like our market is the people that want like cool shit.
yeah.
That looks
Imagine that.
looks like we did it. So that's
Kind of
worked
has
out
your
really well.
touch
Yeah.
on it. Okay,
Yeah.
I get that. So like right here, this Auburn shirt, I'm in like the Alabama Theater and like Sloss, and like all
yeah.
these designs, man, they're so rad. Like,
So
it's-
how we work with like Alabama Theater and Oak Mountain and all those places is it's kind of a couple things. Like we
I mean,
need
it's all different like ways, really.
yeah we
I mean,
we
generally-
need product to fill out our store. We need stuff to sell. So being under the umbrella of Yellowhammer, like Yellowhammer Creative, we kind of are able to encompass all of the state. So with that, we're able to do these kind of like series, like park series, where we can make a Oak Mountain State Park or a railroad park, but where we kind of do it is we'll make that, but we have a licensing agreement with that entity, so we give money back to them. So we're not just kind of like making an Oak Mountain Park
Yeah.
shirt.
And it doesn't feel off brand
Yeah,
either.
we're
Like, it all
making it
fits.
so we can
Yeah.
contribute to
Yeah,
to
we
the
make
park.
souvenirs.
Yeah.
We make
It's a good way to
like
put it,
a
a
new
souvenir.
souvenir.
Yeah, we're a glorified
we love old
souvenir
souvenirs.
company.
Like
As much as we
You know, it's
try
like
to
all
be
of
like
this,
cool and
you
shit
know,
for a
you guys,
while, like
you know.
that's kind of the lane that we fell in.
Yeah.
and we
I'm
love
cool.
all the old souvenirs.
Yeah, we're
and
cool with that.
The like holding on to something. Since you have something,
sure.
it's
And there's a cool way to do it. I mean, I see this like
It's all in there.
Yeah.
you know,
it's
the
just dragging
Blazers
it out.
logo or the Substrate Radio or any of these other.
Yeah, and the cool thing
Partnerships, I guess.
about like the university stuff is they have just kind of let us into their archives, and like
And there's a lot of good stuff in there.
we
You
were
just
at
go look for it.
Alabama, like the university, and we were looking through old books, and there's like Sugar Bowl trophies behind us. It was like super surreal.
Literally just
Wow.
trophies
Yeah.
shoved everywhere.
Like,
it
they-
was ridiculous.
Did they just let anybody in there? I mean,
No.
like, obviously you guys have built a reputation.
You know, I don't know how we've gotten in to some of our situations. Like, it's just,
Well,
it's been one thing.
We're very handsome.
I don't think
We're
that's
we're smooth talkers, and we did good work. So they let
well,
us
the
in.
work speaks for itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That was one of the biggest things that we were just surfing through, and just all the different things that you guys have in your store. And I'm like, how do they pull this off? Like, I don't understand how they can be so diversified.
We just
you
do
know?
a lot, man. Like we just like
Going back to the
It's our
university
jobs,
thing, did
yeah.
y'all ever design anything that Alabama was just like, no, can't sell that?
no because
No, I
we
mean, we
or
know,
any
like,
company.
what we
always
want to
say that,
sell.
yeah.
And we understand, like, they're not going to sell, something that's, like off of,
Yeah.
and we have
it's Alabama.
we have
it's
standards as a
Auburn,
company
like,
too. So we're like, we
UAB,
we have to
they're not
stay
gonna-
in a vein where like it looks like us. So a vintage logo, even if we find an elephant from somewhere and just like slap it on there, it's gonna look like it's supposed to be. you
Okay.
know, as opposed to us doing a line drawing of whatever, but
Couldn't do a design of like the UAB Blazers mascot like flicking off the
Wouldn't allow
opponent. Wouldn't allow that.
wouldn't
Okay.
allow it. Yeah. So the only thing that Alabama really has is you can't do anything with alcohol or
What?
any like racist stuff.
Well, obviously, yeah, but you couldn't have like their mascot like chugging
Drinking
a
a
beer.
Budweiser or
No,
something.
they don't want anything to do with alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's respectable.
Yeah, I
I
get
guess
it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
totally
just
fine, yeah.
general like rules. Like, I don't think anybody's going to want any of those things generally in that
I'd
situation.
buy that shirt.
Yeah.
So, they can't sanction anything like that, obviously. So, it's a simple rule to follow. Like,
yeah,
like I'm going to sell it too.
Yeah.
So obviously we wouldn't.
yeah. Because I mean, obviously,
do
you
anything like
want to
that.
sell it.
And
Yeah.
kind of like, funnily enough, like, so when we started in 2009 is when Alabama won one of their championships, and
One of their dozen championships.
right. So we made a bunch of like Alabama national championship shirts to kind of like start and fund Yellowhammer.
Well, yeah. So we sold them on Facebook,
On Facebook, it was just like send
to
me a
friends
message.
and family.
Yeah,
and screen printed. Like it was like an okay amount, I guess. Really,
it's like 300. It was,
I
it was
think
big
it was
for
like
us.
90.
It might have been 90. Yeah.
But at the same time, it
Give
was
it to
like
me.
just enough money
Yeah.
that we were able to get like some quality screens and like just some like rudimentary shit.
Yeah.
And then
Then
from there, everything we made just went into it for like 3 or 4 years before we ever got any money
Yeah.
from it.
But Alabama was cool with you guys making those
Not
initial
at,
shirts.
not at all.
No, so we got
no.
to cease and desist.
Y'all didn't
It
ask
was
for permission.
scary.
Y'all just did it.
We just did it.
Man,
We didn't know.
So,
We didn't know.
we were like
yeah.
in college or just out of college, and like, it's not their logo. It's fine.
It's an elephant.
No, it wasn't fine.
We know
So,
now.
I mean, it only happened like once or twice. We
It
ran
happened
something.
twice. Yeah.
And then
Both with
we got an
Alabama?
email, and we were
Yeah.
like, "Oh man,
They're like, we need
that.
90% of your.
It was like 93%
I was
of
like-
the sales, and we were like, "Man,
That's a lot of
What?
percent.
we
Yeah.
will not do it again.
Yeah.
We are sorry."
Oh
and
my
how do we do it
gosh.
the right way?
Yeah.
So
So we didn't hear back from them for 10 years, and then we just got it like 2 or 3 years ago.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Wow.
See, y'all just started doing it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we're going to capitalize
Yeah.
on this championship.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
man,
were like,
it was just like,
Yeah.
like we sold like, like
Between 90
Not
and
that
300.
many.
Somewhere between
Somewhere
90 and
between
300.
100 and 300
to our
shirts.
friends and family
Yeah.
who like, all like that's their
Can I get
game
one of those
day
shirts?
shirt, you know.
Are they still around?
They are.
They are still
I'll get
Man,
you
I got
one.
a suitcase
Yeah.
somewhere. It has like 3 or 4 just hanging out,
Yeah.
just like I dropped them.
That
like
coveted
12
illegal
years
We
ago.
just
shirt.
we kind of backed away from everything once we got that cease and desist. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool story to go behind it. Yeah, I got to get one of those.
Yeah, you know, you learn real quick. Like, okay,
The do's and don'ts
Yeah.
of what you
Yeah.
can and
that
can't.
makes
print.
sense, I guess.
Well, I do remember a few years ago, I read some stuff. There's a little bit of drama going on with some of y'all's designs and stuff. We talked about it earlier. The iconic or becoming. I don't know, when does something become an icon? It's nice to have you in Birmingham. I do remember seeing that kind of popping up around the city. There's a giant one right across from Fleming's or not Fleming's, Florentine
On the John City Diner.
Yeah,
The big
on
mural?
that giant one that people
Yeah.
take pictures
Yeah.
of, and then there's the one above Trim Tab, and then I've seen a few more around the city, either that people have just done themselves, like graffiti artists, or that were actually sanctioned. It look really nice.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was some drama that went down with someone who wanted to use the logo, or you guys tried to trademark the logo, or something happened. What was that situation?
So this is what happened. So
So it is a long story.
yeah. So
Um,
I guess kind of the first thing that happened when I got back from Atlanta was I wanted to paint "It's Nice to Have You in Birmingham" on a wall somewhere.
What's the timeline? What
2008.
2008.
2008, 2000, early 2009. Like
Okay.
that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to paint that mural somewhere. So I went to a couple of different community organizations, and they're like, "We're not going to be able to raise money for this." I had people come in from Atlanta that like would pitch this idea to a couple of community organizations. They're like, "We don't want anything to do with it." So then I got together with Marilee from Bottle Tree, and
Shout out Bottle Tree.
Shout out Bottle Tree.
R.I.P.
And she was just basically like, we don't need this community organization. We can make our own thing. So that's when we developed the Magic City Mural Collective. And so that's who
Just so you could paint a mural.
paint a mural.
That's
And
all you wanted to do.
The first thing that we did was the one at Woodlawn across from like Club Duquette and Cycle Cafe.
It's not there
It's not there
anymore. It was the
anymore.
original one.
They tore it down.
Was that the real colorful one? on the
No,
wall?
no, that's just the Woodlawn one. But there was a green
Oh,
and
yeah.
yellow one that we painted on a wall like adjacent to them.
Okay.
the week of our shop there.
Yeah,
in,
we painted-
Woodlawn,
we painted it for
It
that.
was launched that week.
And so then that turned into I designed one for Trim Tab, then I designed the one for John City Diner.
So you designed those. Those weren't just random pop-ups.
That was
that was you guys.
That was me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So it has the same aesthetic with the
Yeah.
cursive and all that. Okay.
yeah, so it's our version of that slogan,
Okay.
Yeah,
which
that
we hadn't.
whole design.
You
Yeah.
know, I had never seen that slogan until
So
you showed
yeah,
it to me.
Right when we started in 2013 with those pop-up shops is when we started It's Nice to Have You Birmingham shirts. So it kind of coincided.
So we have one pulled up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
classic.
it
Yeah.
was kind of like a, from our standpoint, is like the mural's there. People are going to take pictures in front of the mural. We'll sell the shirts. We didn't realize the shirts were going to take off as much as they did.
Yeah, and we had the shirts at a few shows and some show poster versions of it at like sidewalk sales and some other small shops we had set up. And then the success of the shirts actually led to them finally saying, yes, let's go for that first mural. And
And we're like, we're already doing it. Like, we don't.
And I mean,
we
you
don't
know,
need y'all. Yeah.
Which one was the first one? The
The
John
whole
City
one in-
Diner?
The one at
was-
Woodlawn.
Or the Woodlawn. Okay.
The John City Diner was the last one.
The last one.
Yeah,
So
it's
guys,
the most. I mean, it's always going to be there, so people are going to always be there.
That's the one I see the most. I
Yeah,
guess, You know.
Right.
but-
yeah, it's a lot easier to just go,
Yeah. So
shoot a photo in front of.
Sure, you got that big parking lot right, in
Right.
front. It's not in an alley. Or,
So
Yeah, it's easy access.
From that, it went to this. I guess they're a realty company wanting to put a sign up on top of a building downtown. So we got wind of that, and we were like, we want to help y'all out. We want to design this. We want to design a big ass sign. It'd be
Yeah.
great for us.
Yeah, it sounds
who
cool.
wouldn't want
Sounds
to do that?
cool. Yeah. So they were like, okay, we'd love to work with y'all. Give us a quote for your services. So,
Yeah, and it was obvious they did not like us right away.
yeah.
And they wanted to just use like our like artwork, like exactly how we had made it, and it
Like
was
I'm
like
seeing on this
you
shirt,
can
right?
use the slogan, but you can't use like that version of it. They did not care. Went to a lawyer's like immediately,
Almost the next
like
day after we
threatened
sent
the
that
crap out of
email
us.
with the quote to work on this sign, like they lawyered up, they leaked it out to somebody on
The media
Facebook
and stuff. It was like
and it
the
became
most ridiculous
a frenzy, man.
like thing. It
Like
was
we were
ridiculous.
getting death threats. Like it was nuts.
Oh my god.
It was nuts.
It was so stupid.
They were like,
yeah, like
who
it was
the
ridiculous.
F do y'all think y'all are trying to take this away from Birmingham? I was
I've
like,
been seeing it for years on
we don't-
signs, and it's like
we didn't
well,
trademark the slogan. We
we put the
trademarked our
sign on it.
artwork.
Yeah.
Like that's everybody does that. Like
So we failed
yeah.
to slap our logo on it. I'm sure how everyone else would have done. Most of the time, quite a lot of folks were like, "No, you didn't do that. I've seen that everywhere." It's like,
just some
yeah,
words,
I
man.
put it
yeah,
everywhere.
I got into an argument with somebody who's like, the Mural Collective did this before you did this. I was like, I started the Mural Collective.
I
was like,
am the Mural
No, you
Collective.
didn't. I was like, well, then what are we arguing about?
Yeah.
I'm
If
the
you don't-
Mural Collective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was also just crazy because like so much of what we have gone through as far as like us in the last 12 years, so much of it like happened like online, and Instagram was huge for us to breach, like a audience for free
No.
and say, hey, it's a sidewalk sale, and like actually sell like a lot of crap because they saw us on Instagram and they drove down there and came just for that, which you really, that's hard to do now again. Like, and then the whole I think it's nice thing was like everybody was a lawyer all of a sudden. And it was just like,
Birmingham
like
has
internet
never
trolls.
had-
I'd never really
Yeah.
like experienced something like that. And it was like just so horrible, man. It was brutal. And it was just like, we wanted to use the, some old slogan to create, like a good like energy for like our city. And then like some guys like showed up and just had to have it because of like investors or something.
It's like
and we're
equity
like,
for them at the point. Yeah.
so it got like weird really, really quickly and like huge. And like we were like really, really small and we're like, what the hell is happening
What
right
is
now?
We were
And
fighting
they
with people
were
online. Like I
you
was
know,
giving my phone number out.
like
Like if you
threatening
want
people
to
or-
talk to me about this, give me a call. Like I talked to a lot of people and they were like, "Oh, I didn't know that." Like I didn't know that's what's happening.
Man,
like,
it was
yeah.
just so weird. Like it was, and I don't know. I mean, it all happened. It's all over.
Well, we had
It was just weird.
we had to we had to respond to like that outcry.
Yeah.
Let's knock the whole thing over.
No, you're good. It's bolted down, man. Don't worry about it.
So we had a town hall meeting at Trim Tab. Where
Yeah, man, we didn't know what we were doing. We're like,
Yeah.
no, if you got a problem, you come down
Come to
there.
this
come to
meeting.
Trim
I'll
Tab
answer
and
your
talk to us.
questions.
Like
Okay.
because
It was, yeah.
like we
I don't know, man.
it was so surreal because like
Were
honestly
people boycotting your product or
all
just
the
being mad?
still to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Still to this
Really?
day. But it was so
Some
it was
people,
kind of
maybe, I
like
don't know.
hurtful because our career is based on helping Birmingham out and helping like we'll do anything for anybody. And like people calling us these names and like telling us that we're stealing I had a lady tell me like yell in my face that I'm holding the city for ransom. And I was like, man, calm down.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
So you
then
got-
it's like, it's like, man, like, how do we
How do we come
like,
back
what do
from
we
that?
do?
Yeah.
The city's turning on you.
Yeah.
That's a terrible feeling.
So just to recap, you guys weren't necessarily trying to trademark, because I had heard the argument that the slogan itself, "It's nice to have you in Birmingham,"
You-
had been around for 60 plus years. Or
It's-
something.
Yeah, so
From
it
the
came
50s,
out in
yeah.
the like 60s, I think. It's
50s,
kind of
yeah.
the gray like area a little bit.
But you guys weren't
It was
necessarily
used a little bit.
you guys weren't trying to trademark the expression.
You legally can't trademark.
You were
expression.
just like, hey,
Yeah.
the way we designed it.
our artwork.
So
that's all that was.
version
That's
of it.
we
That makes
created
sense.
that.
Yeah, so that shirt version right there is exactly what's on file.
Yeah.
Is that version? So that's where it's like, it's a certain shape, it's a certain look, it's a certain font, like.
So if I print a shirt in all Helvetica that says the same thing,
But yeah,
Cool.
have fun.
I'm kidding.
And we would print it for you. Like we don't care about that. Like,
But it was like everybody was a lawyer, and they
Yeah.
were like, "How dare you?" And it's like, no, like that's our like artwork, and we're saving that because what's like happened is everyone uses that version and just like I'm just gonna swap it out, and so many of them look so terrible, and
Yeah.
it's like
it's not that we care that they're
doesn't-
using it. It's just they don't know how. Like, they're gonna like
Oh, yeah.
skew it, and it
it's
just
like
looks
I've
like
never
shit.
seen a good one. Like
was about
I've never seen a good one,
was
and
about to-
it's like
Well, is that the misinterpretation of like artwork? Like somebody seeing like, oh, well, that's just font on a T-shirt versus
well, it's
well,
how
this is
you
like a
treat
painting
something
or whatever.
It's
Yeah.
all in a treatment. So like
It's our design. Like we
the
we
like
designed
Auburn
that.
thing,
Right. Yeah.
that's their logo,
Yeah.
but it's how we use their logo. That's why it looks like that. That's why it's a good shirt. It's the same logo everybody else has. But
have you guys seen?
it's
a
like,
lot
how do
of-
you explain that to somebody when they're just online like, man,
Yeah.
how dare
When they're
these
yelling at
assholes?
you in your face that yeah, it was a whole
And it
thing.
felt like it was such a slow cycle as far as like something else is going to come along and everybody's going to move on. And man,
And nothing happened.
it
Nothing
didn't
happened
move
for like
on
6
for a
months.
while.
Yeah. Oh my
Which, again, everything blows over so fast nowadays. It's amazing. So it's
2
like
weeks. It's about 2
Yeah,
weeks.
did
no,
not
this
happen
is-
back
we,
then.
We were
It
living in
was
this for a while.
a long time.
Damn. Damn.
That's crazy. Have you guys seen a lot of like knockoff products?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, I see it everywhere.
Oh, everywhere. Really?
Yeah.
It's
And it's
really
like,
nice
I
to
really
have you in
don't.
Birmingham.
I really
It's
don't
super
care.
nice to have
which
you
is
in Birmingham.
which is
you know?
cool because it's not our it's not our slogan. I care about this
Yeah.
this design.
That makes
I don't-
sense.
I don't care like how you use the slogan. We actually in that meeting we tried to start a community outreach program we were going to give a license to from our shirt everything that we sold a little bit was going to go into this like fund for public art. And everybody's like, I mean, that's cool, but go F yourself because you did this. And I was like, well, we're just trying to make this situation better.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we're trying to
we
to
tried.
spin a little bit.
We tried.
PR nightmare.
Man,
Oh,
it was,
my
and
God.
it's just
and
us.
we
like,
did learn a lot
yeah.
though,
Yeah.
I mean, since then, like, it's like, well, we don't want anything like that to happen again. Since it was just like such a, it was just like everything was this, no, that's how it is. I read something online. It's like, well, man, like I lived it and I know who I am and I'm sorry. Like, none of that, was this grand scheme of like, oh, it was all just like some like huge, like, those guys threw us around for a while. Like, it was like, not super fun, It was like, man, I'm like in a shell of a shithole right now. And yeah, you're going to sue us. Okay. So like, what, like
You're gonna sue us for
what, man?
you can't even sue us for $1,000. Like, we don't even have it.
I was about to say, did you ever
Yeah.
actually
Good luck.
get sued? Or
Oh yeah.
tried?
We got
Yeah.
sued by 3 people.
We got sued by a
You
bunch
got
of-
officially sued.
Well, so it was like
got
sued,
dropped.
but it was
Yeah.
like it's like
never
a
been
legal,
sued, so I don't know what
version
that
of getting
looks like.
sued to
It's-
just like hold
it's real
up
cool.
the
Yeah.
trademark essentially. So it's kind of that folks don't really realize like exactly like what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it was like a lawsuit, but it's not like anyone would have like won like any money or anything.
Right.
Like it was just, yes, you can have that.
But that sounds so heavy.
That shirt.
lawsuit.
It is.
And
Yeah, so
sued.
if we had to
Dude.
fight, just to trademark like something, if we created that version and went through a lot of shit for it, and
I guess you guys did
I don't know, it's still
ultimately.
there.
That is ultimately trademarked.
yeah,
Yeah,
by
it,
you
it was
guys.
trademarked when all that shit was
So
happening.
that was the beef. Everybody was like, "You
Yeah.
can't trademark
Yeah.
it."
Yeah.
And you can't explain to anybody once they're pissed off. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't trademark
There's a
the
lot of things
slogan.
about trademark
It's
We
laws
just
that
the
are
trademark
pretty-
It's the
how this
yeah,
looks
pretty dense.
stacked like this. We're like, no, you trademarked the whole thing. I'm like, well, then whatever. Like, I got into an argument, and, like, this guy was like, you can't trademark a slogan about a city. I was like, I Love New York is trademarked, and it's run by the Board of Tourism. He's like, no, it's not. I was
You're a
like,
liar.
I was like, it is, because I looked it up before I came to this meeting because I knew I was going to get asked about it. I was like, look it up on your phone. And he's like, no, it's not. I was
Whatever.
like, then what are we fucking talking about then?
It's just that classic, like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's just a classic fight of,
Dude.
like,
intense.
like a, like huge guy and a small guy, and
Is that
We
the
were
most
way out
intense,
of our league.
like legal issues you guys have ever ran into?
yeah, since we're not trying to,
Other than Alabama
screw
being like,
anything.
hell no, you can't use that
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was it. Yeah.
It was like, okay, so we should probably shell out what was a lot of money for us. It was like $1,200, I think, and like we got a trademark, so it's like we paid $1,200 for something that like it's like, didn't we make that though?
They got us yelled at.
So
And then like we got
Yeah.
just
So-
a nightmare of like probably like 2 years it went on for.
So if I was Huntsville, could I put "It's nice to have you" in Huntsville?
Yeah, as long
Is
as
that
it doesn't
legal?
look
It doesn't
like that.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying like I'm going to use everything. I'm just going to put Huntsville instead of Birmingham and use the same font.
Yeah,
That
no.
would be like not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
since it's obviously like you're
I'm directly
you're
ripping
trying
off
to
this
make
design.
it look
If
like
you take the Mona Lisa,
we
but you
made it.
Photoshop your face on it and then sell it,
Where how close can I get to the sun?
walk that line.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so there is just like such a gray area and all that kind of stuff.
What if I just put an X through Birmingham and then
It's like who owns what and how and all that.
70% yours.
It's
Yeah.
it's all complicated. So
And honestly, nobody
know.
really knows how the trademarks work. So,
dude, it's incredibly.
You just copy and paste it from
vague.
Google.
crazy.
TM, baby, trademark.
Yeah.
Done.
man, I
Right.
learned a lot about it. Like it's actually quite interesting, and it's also like, it could go one way or it could go the other way, and like it's not, super, like easy. Like there's a lot of shit that goes into it. So, it was just so like hard when like everybody was just like, you're, I know,
But
what
you
guys
guys
are
still
doing.
have
and you're
that's
just like,
haters to this
man,
day.
I don't want to
Yeah.
have to do any of
Yeah.
this right now. Like,
I'll get somebody like every now and then that'll come up to me.
hey man,
Like,
fuck you.
Yeah. Like I heard y'all held the city hostage for like $64,000. Like,
no, man, I read that one article.
Yeah.
It's like,
Held
all
the
right,
city
read the
hostage.
yeah.
I saw the headline.
that one article was
All right, you
very
terrorist.
lopsided.
Oh my God.
But
Yeah,
all right.
right.
That's
Yeah.
insane, man.
Yeah, man, it's a weird, it's a weird world out there, I guess.
This is kind of our normal now, though.
Yeah. Would you say this has been your most successful product?
By far.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
like-
mean, they've
yeah,
gone
that's
all over the
recognizable
world.
for sure.
I mean, we've run a lot of them. A lot of folks have sold them for us as well, and to other shops.
That was my next question. Can I
it's all
find
for,
Yellowhammer
city.
products in other stores?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a few
absolutely.
shops.
So we wholesale our stuff to like Alabama Goods, a bunch of different shops around town. Then we also like develop product lines for shops. So there's a shop in Orange Beach that we've developed their whole retail line, or not their whole retail line, but some of their retail products, and then they just wholesale that from us. That again, that goes back to like we'll kind of just do anything.
Yeah.
Like, and it's designing shirts is fun.
Dude, you guys are obviously very successful print shop, man. That's incredible.
We're doing all right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's at the end of the day, we get to draw for a living. Like
Yeah.
that's whenever like we have like a stressful day, and I'm like drawing, like it'll hit me. I'm like, man,
I'm at
just-
work right now.
I'm drawing like scales on a snake. Like who does that? Yeah.
Would you say that's what you spend most of your time doing nowadays? Is
Absolutely.
Drawing
designing?
scales on snakes.
Scaled
No.
on snakes?
Okay.
No.
No, I wish.
It's
no.
changing air filters. It's
Man, it's just
Running-
like answering
yeah, it's
emails.
kinda
Like
doing
answering
everything.
emails is
yeah.
such a chore.
Running this
And
conglomerate.
just like,
that you guys built?
so
Yeah.
many things are just kind of like cycling through. And there's not that many of us. And
Yeah, like we're
there's a lot of pieces.
slammed in the print shop right now, so I print probably like 3 days a week, t-shirts or
You're in there physically printing.
Yeah.
Alongside
Yeah.
the other guys, I guess. What I saw a video the other day. There's a company that I recently discovered, Skeeve, I think, if I'm
Yeah.
saying that correct.
Yeah, that's our screen printer, Sean.
He has some really wild designs, very cool.
Yeah.
And I saw him in there printing. I did not know until you just said that he's your screen printer. I was about to ask, do you guys just open your shop up and let people come in and
So,
print?
Yeah, so
Like, how
Sean
does
runs
the
the screen print shop out of our screen print shop is what's
Yeah.
been going on now.
I was like,
since
where?
COVID happened.
What's the line here? Because
Yeah.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
like one company, but they're partnering with you guys. But
So
they're in
Sean's
your
been working
space.
with us probably for sure longer than anybody else has. He's
Probably
been there
about-
probably like 9 years
Yeah.
now, I guess.
Well, he's got some rad designs. I'm
Yeah.
a fan. I was like, dude, this stuff's sick.
So everybody in our shop, everybody that works for us, kind of has a side hustle, and
We still have side hustles.
we still have
I
side
mean,
hustle. Yeah, and
It never ends.
we're very like, I love that about it. I love that they have some like they do other things besides just work for us.
Yeah.
And anything that we can do to facilitate like
So are cool with that.
their
like
growth.
they're selling their own
well, it's all
products.
creative.
Oh, yeah,
He-
absolutely.
yeah, like
Yeah.
we
You know,
like,
since,
go
you know,
for it.
we set it up for
Well, and-
for him to do that.
You know, it's as simple as, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, that's a great like idea, but then for you to go and then follow through with it and actually see something through, you know, it's like, yeah, man, like if you actually, you know, see something through, and that's awesome. And sure, you should go do it.
But to do what you need to do, you have to have a
Which doesn't
working
usually
screen
happen.
printing shop.
Yeah,
you
I was
have to have
about say, and
resources.
Not everybody has.
You're not going to be able to
Exactly.
do that. We have that. We've had so much help.
And I wish we had
coming
had
up.
it.
Yeah. And like so many people have helped us out, and, like open
Absolutely.
our doors. It's kind of like our duty to help, like at least our, you know, employees out.
It's good
So,
business.
Yeah,
It's good,
it's
great
great
business.
Yeah, you know,
Well, shout out to Sean because he's doing a good job.
Sean's killing
that's
it, man.
killer.
The
That's
only
awesome.
the only
Yeah,
problem
so
I have with
Sean
Sean
pretty much lives at the shop,
yeah,
actually.
the only
Like,
problem I have with Sean is he's starting to screen print with his shoes off.
there's no starting
His
to about that,
barefoot-
man. That's been happening for years.
It's bumming me out, man. I feel like
I'm
he's
sure
gonna-
he's up there screen printing right now
Yeah.
with no shoes on.
I hope he hears this. I don't like you screen printing with shoes off. Sean.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean is actually there. He just sent me a phone message of something he's printing right now. So,
That's funny.
yeah. So, you know, I mean, so there's Sean and then Jen, who is one of our other probably most senior members. She's been there as of yesterday. I think it was 5 years. I got, yeah. Shout out to Jen. So she does ceramics, which are like super rad. So she set up her own. You went out there actually like a few
Yeah,
weeks
she's
ago.
got her own
and
studio.
Helped
It's
her cut
kind
some
of crazy.
clay.
And she's, you know, crazy talented. Mallory, who works with us, she's got Cicada Candle Company. So we also have a platform that they can sell their
That was
stuff
my
in.
next question. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, man.
kind of
You know, we got a shop. We can put stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, looking at your retail space, obviously most of it's you guys and,
Mm-hmm.
and different mediums where you've got logos and stuff. But
Yeah.
I also saw like other companies. We Made, I think, was one.
Yeah.
Is that a
Yeah.
brand? If I'm not saying that incorrectly. So the retail space, when you come in there, you will see other brands.
Oh, yeah.
Besides just you guys, just brands that you guys support. Or,
Yeah,
or like.
you know, it's almost all local. Almost everything in there is something that's made locally. In Alabama, you know, we probably have like
We slip some heavy
a
ultra t-shirts.
small
in there.
like handful
Absolutely.
of stuff.
We need to
Have a
get
little
you-
rack in the
We
corner.
need to get y'all on the local series,
Dude,
for sure.
yeah, that'd be sick. I was going to pitch that to him. Like,
Yeah.
what's
Hell's
it take
a
to
heavy ultra?
Yeah.
What is this?
What's it take to get on that list?
Heavy
to
ultra what?
Get some
So
designs.
so that kind of goes back to like us getting our start and like everybody helping us out. Like again, we have that platform to sell those products for our
That's
employees.
a prime
and, like, other
location,
people.
man. I can't imagine that
It's
shop
great.
isn't booming. you
It's
know?
great.
Yeah.
Like
All the foot traffic you get right there.
we
That's
never
crazy.
thought that we'd have a retail shop in Pepper Place.
I never thought any of this was going to happen.
I bet
Yeah.
rent is so steep though.
It's
No,
not
it's not bad.
bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, and honestly, they're
I
the
mean, rent's high everywhere.
they're the
Well,
best
yeah, that is true.
landlords
It's
that we've
horrible.
ever had in our lives. Like
Okay.
they're very
Oh yeah,
like,
Sloss is great.
they love what we do. They include us in everything. They allow us to be degenerates around their shopping center. Like it's
They've been super
great.
supportive. you
Yeah.
know.
Like they're letting us, you know, run a night market and like kind of stuff like that. Like
That is pretty rad.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually going to start in a month and a half, it's going to be our first one.
Now, what's a night market? So,
It's just like
It's a
vendor
market, but at night.
but okay,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
we're
it
just going to
sounds
have it at night. Yeah.
you're just extending your hours.
Man,
Why
I'm
don't you
going
just
back
say
and forth
that?
about that name. About like, I don't know, is that terrible? I mean,
It is.
I
No,
mean,
it's
we always just call everything what it is because we're just like, man, I don't know. Let's
a
just call it
simpler
what it
way to
is.
just say, hey, we're extending our hours.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have
Night market.
We're gonna have like 50 to 100 vendors out there.
It's going to be 50. Let's not
Okay,
get
so it's
crazy.
like
Yeah.
a full blown. It's not
It's a-
just
it's
you
a market.
guys.
It's
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
night
so it's
market,
like-
Alex.
So we're closing out the parking lot in front of our shop and
Just like the
filling out
farmer's
with
market
vendors.
set up.
Yeah.
Okay, I
And-
thought you guys were just staying open longer.
Oh no.
No.
I did not realize there was other
Maybe
vendors
we'll do that
coming
one
in.
day too.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
goes back to like we just kind of can't sit still
You know,
and like
just little shows and just being like, man, we have such a good venue, right in front of our shop, and then COVID happened, and then we just haven't been able to do anything like that there. So this is our first shot, really, to like to use everything around us as much as we can.
How
So
hard
should
is
be
it
cool.
to close that street for a market?
So it's
Well,
just
it'll just be the parking lot.
It'll just be the parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just that main square.
That's still,
where
man,
all
that's cool.
the farmers usually are.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not that hard to close the street.
Well, I mean, they do it every Saturday.
They do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they close it, so frequently there, and 29th especially, like it's all in the same
Of this month?
landlord, situation. So it's
I guess
it's
you
easier
could
to
just kind of
close.
close a street
just
to
assume
close a
that
street.
it's closed.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
When they did the what was the bike race that went around?
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
Oh,
And Blueprint got pissed.
Man,
they
they
were
did.
so pissed.
Wait, hold
they
on.
were
Spill
real
the
hot.
beans.
All right,
They were
so
real
for those that don't know,
Is this a circuit we talked about with the
There was-
Yeah, it
Redemptive?
was like
what
a
was
rad
it? It was
race.
the Hammerfest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hammerfest bike race around the block, and basically they closed, the 4 streets surrounding Pepper Place, or Lakeview, or wherever you call it, whatever that.
Yeah,
that-
that-
they went
that
right
area.
by you guys
Yeah.
and Red Cat and all that stuff. Well, they closed in a street that went right 4th Avenue, right in front of Blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Blueprint couldn't run their valet, couldn't have dinner. You couldn't even get in. I mean,
Right.
there's they're in the middle of the donut. And I just remember they blasted Hammerfest and everything on social media because they couldn't open that. It was like
Yeah, it
a
was
Friday
pretty
night
ugly.
or Saturday
They got
night.
real hot.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, calm down. Like, you didn't know about this? Like,
Oh man, that was going to happen March 17th because I'd made a show poster for it, and it got canceled because of everything else. It got canceled because of COVID. So yeah, like everyone knew it was happening, and everyone else just sold a bunch. So it was a bummer that he didn't know.
Yeah, we had a great weekend.
yeah,
Everybody else killed
everybody's
it.
hanging out. And,
Yeah.
like, I would imagine. Well, dude, it sounds like you guys are staying really busy. It sounds like the retail shop in Pepper Place is doing well. Where do you guys see the future of Yellowhammer Creative going from here? Just kind of keep on trucking, or
Yeah, we have
do
no
you have
idea.
grand plans?
Yeah. So we've
We
always,
have a lease for I think 2 more years.
yeah, we've always kind of kept it
We have
pretty
to at least
pretty
do that.
loose and fluid, so we can kind of do whatever we want. And with the local series and the pandemic happening, we've kind of switched gears and kind of calibrated our business. So we both really enjoy that, like not sticking to one plan and kind of doing whatever we can. But the mainstays are always there, like the show posters, the Birmingham products. They're always going to be there. But what we build on besides that, it's kind of open-ended.
Open-ended.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you guys pursuing any new partnerships or anything like that?
Heavy Ultra, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than the
Besides-
partnership that's
besides
birthed from this podcast.
Heavy Ultra, yeah.
Generally it's just whatever shows up. There's a lot of jobs that we just can't because we just have a small setup, and it's not like what you were saying about it's just y'all's like shirts.
Mm-hmm.
That's been our dream this whole time, and it's just been like somebody keeps showing up, and you're like, well,
It's hard to say no, man.
We
It's hard
do
say
have
it
to
all the
pay
time.
the rent
all the time.
and we have to pay our employees, and that's like obviously we got to get all that done. So I guess we are going to do that. I don't know. Something worked, and then something else worked, and then it was just like, how do we not screw this up?
Yeah, we've been very lucky in our
Absolutely.
career, and we know how lucky we've been, and we're very like appreciative of it. Like for one thing, this city has like just showed us so much support, and so we feel like we've got to do everything we can to kind of hit that support back.
And it's like everyone supports everyone here as well. Like, it's such a good vibe in this city. Like, it's such a small city as well. And it's like, we knew that like so like early since we are from here, and it was like everyone kind of, is linked somehow to somebody else around town. So it's just like, it's so much easier to just like try to support everybody since it's, like, why would you not? And, so many like other cities are just so like, I don't know, man, just like a mess.
We're just
everybody's out for each other.
It
It's
feels
like
like
they're going to get my
Like
secrets.
the people that we work with are all
not
trying
like
to
that.
lift Birmingham up. So,
Yeah.
Why not?
It's like everybody's in
wanna
it for the
fall into
same
that
reasons
line.
for the most
Seems
part
like more of
around
a
town.
community feel.
Yeah, here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we
It's
wouldn't
so
be able to,
small. Like
to
you
go
get
to
crushed
like,
if you're an asshole.
we wouldn't
like
be able to go
everybody
to
doesn't like you.
New York and do what we're doing because we would just get swallowed up.
Yeah, nobody would care.
Yeah.
You'd be crushed if you're an asshole. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
like,
brilliant. I love
like,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Like, it's
we
so
wanna-
much harder to do that than just be cool and not, just
Just
treat
just be
people
cool,
like
man.
that. Everybody,
Just be cool,
everybody's
man.
going to be there next week
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And
Well, you guys are very cool, man. So and maybe you're getting to the point now where you can be more, what's the word? You can choose your jobs, a little more versus just saying yes to everything. You know what I mean? Like
you would think that.
You would think that,
But
okay.
we say yes to everything.
So for those
Yeah.
that don't know, can anybody just say, "Hey, they have cool designs, and
well,
I'm starting
sometimes
a
it's
business"?
hard to find us.
Yeah.
So we also have that set up. So like, sometimes you've got to really kind of track us down.
You gotta
in certain
dig.
ways. As
Yeah.
far as like, how do you really reach out?
Do
to
you
us?
really
It's challenging
want
sometimes.
a Yellowhammer design? You're gonna have to work for
You're gonna have to work for it. Yeah. None of
because we are busy. Yeah.
our production like address isn't published. Like we don't really want anybody to get in touch with us. It's kind of an opposite
If
of
you
how
know,
a successful
know.
business is
Yeah.
run. Yeah.
Well, so much of that is like we have work, so it's also just like it's always just what's in front of us. When we set up a new office, it was just like clearly folks shouldn't know like easily where this place is, or else they're gonna come here all the time, and we're gonna have to be like,
Y'all are a
yeah,
popular
that's not
company,
here.
man. Y'all are like the face of
we have
Birmingham
no T-shirts here.
Yeah.
So
It's like when people come from out of town, they're coming to you guys. It's like, well, I
Yeah,
gotta
and
get
it's
my
like even, like,
souvenirs.
It's crazy. That's
Yeah.
that's a crazy spot to be in.
Yeah.
Like it's because we're very humble people, and just kind of that praise makes us uncomfortable because we're just kind of doing what we would do anyway. It just happens to be on a larger scale than it is.
Well, dude, thank you guys for taking the time to
Yeah.
come and talk with us about your company, and,
Yeah,
and we'd
definitely.
love to have you guys back on, and
Yeah, for sure.
once you guys expand on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And if people want to come and check you guys out or stop by the shop, where can they find you?
So our shop is at Pepper Place. We're in between Stone Hollow Farm and Design. What is that place called? We're in between Stone Hollow Farm.
You're
and,
at Pepper Place.
and Billy Reed in Pepper Place. Yeah,
man, I'm
Yeah.
really horrible with names sometimes.
You guys are close to, like, Red
Design
Cat stuff,
Supply,
though.
I believe.
We're across the street in the parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Pepper Place. Go to
Yeah.
Pepper Place.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
find them. Look around.
Can't miss
Yeah.
it.
Yellow.
Can't miss 'em.
we won't be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
but-
always open on the internet. So yellowhammer.org.
Sick.
Check it out.
Awesome, guys. Well, I wish you all the best going forward. And
Yeah, thank y'all for having us.
dude.
This is great. Y'all doing great for the community. It's
well,
awesome.
cool, man. Well, that
Yeah.
means a lot coming from you guys,
Yeah.
and thanks for coming by to hang out. So,
Yeah, thanks, man.
awesome.